Hey everyone, I've been using the Playseat Trophy for about 2 years now,
Wow.
and I think it's time we talk about it. If you're looking for a sim rig that doesn't take over your whole room, but still feels solid, this might be one to look at. So here's what I think, whether it's good, bad, or even worth the money. First up, it's really sturdy. There's no wobble. As you can see in the test that I'm doing right now, I'm leaning on it, and it's actually not flexing that much at all. It's not noticeable when you're in it. When you're really leaning into the pedals, it doesn't flex at all there either. It's well built and it just feels really solid. You can tell the build quality is there. It's also compact, which is really huge for me, no pun intended, because I have a small room, as you can see here, and there's just not that much room to put a full sim rig in. So I was looking for something that was smaller but was really well built and sturdy. So this one really does fit in this smaller space, as you can see on here. It doesn't look out of place when you're not running a full sim setup 24/7. It just looks like another chair in the corner. Mobility wise, it is somewhat easy to move around, though I wouldn't call it portable, but you can move it if you need to. Moving it around the house is a two-person job. I recently moved, had to bring it downstairs and then back upstairs in the new house. 2 people, it was doable. That being said, I left everything on there, so I left the steering wheel and everything else, the pedals attached to it, and then we were just able to pick it up, move it around, bring it up the stairs. It is very solid, so there's no flex, so it's nice to pick up. It's definitely front heavy where the pedals are. Obviously the back end is super light, as you can see here. So let's talk about comfort. It's all right, I would say. It's not amazing, but it's also not uncomfortable. It's definitely better than using those foldable chairs like the one I had before. Not very comfortable, especially for a long time. The seat itself, it breathes pretty well. There's little perforations in it. So I've actually never found that my back got sweaty while I was playing. Slightly warm, yes, especially because I play in VR, so you do get some light perspiration, but I do have a fan that blows on me, so that helps for sure. I've also used the seat to just play other games like PUBG in the evening. So after a couple hours of gaming, I do have to get up and crack my back because it seems pretty stuck, and it does that popping sound, and it does feel pretty good. So you do have decent adjustability on the rig itself, so you can adjust it for taller people and shorter people lengthwise. You can see on the screen here you just need a couple Allen keys or hex keys, and then you can get that moving. Pedals wise, there's quite a bit of adjustability there. You can move them up and down, back and forth, whatever you prefer. Seat wise, there's a couple settings that you can use in the back there to move your seat more upright or lean back. There's not that much adjustability on it. So what I'm using, I like to use like a hybrid position for myself. So it's not really a GT style upright position, and it's also not a Formula position. It's a little bit in between. I like to lean back and look up a bit, but I also want my pedals not in the air as well. So it is good for that type of racing, but you can do both if you like. Although I would say it's not 100% a Formula position that you can achieve in this seat, just because you can't really get on the floor. Or a GT position is achievable, but you're just not going to sit very upright. What I also like about this seat is the design. So I was looking for something super minimalist, clean, because I didn't want that big, bulky, full-on rig in my room that takes up all the space, especially because I was using my rig in the living room before, so it looked really out of place already. So I just wanted to keep it as small as possible, because otherwise my wife was also going to kill me. So I just needed to make sure that it looked decent and not too bad. She still says it looks like an eyesore, but at least it's out of the living room now, so nobody cares anymore. And honestly, it does look good. It's not too flashy, just perfect. You can also get it in red if you like. I believe there's also a Logitech version with some blues. There's a couple options there that you can look at if you want different colors. I think the black looks great. It looks clean, very minimalistic, very tubular, which I was looking for, no sharp edges. So now let's talk about the downsides, because there definitely is some downsides to this rig that I definitely want to say, especially after 2 years of using this seat. I just want to let you know what I think. So number one, the price. It's not cheap. When I bought it 2 years ago in Canadian dollars, I paid $899 plus tax for it. I do see now that it went down to $799 plus tax, which is a little bit better. I think dropping it to $799 is a good idea. just because there's so many other ones out there that are in the same price range as that are very, very good as well. So there's definitely some options there to look at. And speaking of the seat itself, it's not really a seat. It's more of a firm hammock. As you can see here on the video, you do kind of fall into it. It does cover your back pretty well and your bottoms. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a dent in it already from me sitting on it, so you do get a little bit of sagging going on at the bottom here. Luckily, this does not make it any more uncomfortable. It's just something that will happen over time. So one thing I want to talk about too is adjustability. I've mentioned it before, it's quite adjustable for what you need, but one thing to keep in mind is that it's not adjustable in a way that once you have a short person that wants to drive and you have to adjust it, it's not very easy to adjust. You do need some small tools to adjust it all, which does take away from the fun a bit, just because you have to mess around with the seat. It's just nice if they would have something that's a little quicker, like a quick release system. I do understand that would make it a little more flimsy, but just something to keep in mind if you're buying that. Also, the shifter mount. For me, it was very, very hard to find in Canada for the last 2 years. I was looking for one, actually never bought one, but from what I read online, it seems like people that are using it say it's a little bit uncomfortable just because it's close to your leg. It's not really designed for it. I feel like it's more of an afterthought they had once they designed this, and they're like, oh yeah, we still need a shifter, which it looks very decent, but still it's something that even wouldn't work for me because the way I'm set up here close to the wall, I wouldn't be able to fit that shifter because it has to hang on the outside, so you might bang your leg into that. So one thing that did annoy me was the feet. Underneath the rig, there's a couple of those pads, protective pads that are kind of like a softer Velcro. They did not stay in place over 2 years, so they do move around. So what I highly recommend is if you do get this rig, get a pad or a mat like I did. There's a Next Level Racing one, the one that I'm using fits perfectly. That way you're protecting your floor, because this thing will scratch your floor over time just because of the vibrations of the wheel go all through this thing, so you will scuff your floor. Another thing I noticed as well is once these pads were moving, the glue to attach them was actually getting stuck to my mat and the floor as well. So I really wish they provided some nicer feet for this, any rubber ones, or even just give us a mat with the purchase. It would have been so easy and clean. But yeah, if you're playing on carpet, I get you don't need that. But it would be nice to just have that included in the purchase. Another thing to talk about too is those Velcro pads do collect a lot of hair and dust. Especially from around the house. You're cleaning up, you're vacuuming, you're not really moving this thing around, and around those little feet there's always hair sticking out, so you do have to lift it up and clean them off manually. One last thing that I like but also dislike at the same time is the texture of the seat. It's kind of a rubbery suede texture, so this texture feels really nice. It's really cool as well to sit in. Again, no pun intended. But one thing that annoys me about it is there's so much dust and little debris that catches on it. And because it's rubberized almost, you just can't get it off. So when you're wiping it, you're kind of wiping it into the fabric. When you're vacuuming it, you're kind of just making marks where the vacuum goes. It's very hard to keep clean, and you can also see those white marks around my seat. I just can't get rid of them, even with microfiber cloths and water. So getting dust off is almost impossible. So who is this seat for? So if you have limited space and you want a very solid but low profile rig, this one might be for you. It feels very solid to drive, and it does hit a sweet spot. And it's way better than those foldable ones like I had before. Going from a foldable rig to this, it's quite a leap. So you got the very flimsy foldable ones, and then you go into this, and this feels amazingly solid. This seat can handle a lot of torque. I think this really hits the sweet spot in the market, where it's way better than those foldable chairs, but you're also not committing to the full-on rig that you have to put in the middle of the room. Besides, it looks really low profile. It looks really sweet. It looks kind of innocent, I would say, but once you get into it, it is actually really solid. So would I buy this again? Yes, on sale 100%. I think I overpaid at $8.99 plus tax for this rig, Canadian. It's just too much money for what it is. There's so many other options out there. So I think what you should do is whatever works best for you. So you should check out what's available, see what you can do. If you want to fill up your whole room with the sim rig, then this one might not be for you. It's solid, but there is some things lacking that you might need. If you want something even more compact than this, then maybe it's best you look at a foldable one that you can even put away. I think this really strikes the middle ground for that. So I think this is still an amazing setup. It is just a little bit overpriced. So that's it for now. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more of these kinds of videos, please subscribe and like this. It really helps me a lot. And I will see you all in the next video.